Hi, baby. So in this test, I'm going to take a FRAM oil filter and a SuperTech oil filter, and I'm going to cut the outside steel housing off just by using a die grinder. I'm going to come in here and zip off the outside steel housing and expose the element to both of these filters. One thing that I did notice is right off the top, the threads on the FRAM is a little bit thicker than it is on the SuperTech. So right off the bat, it looks like almost like an air intake filter in there. Looks just like a cheap paper element in there. So let's do the SuperTech. Okay, and the SuperTech seems to have this same rubber plastic. There's a little bit more. There's more to it on the SuperTech. A little bit more rubber involved. Let's take this element out. The element itself, cheap paper element, but it's actually encased with metal. In the FRAM, we're looking at just a cheap paper. And you can even see where there's a little bit of you could have some flow by right there, where oil could flow past the pressure side onto the return. It could bypass right there in that crack, as to where the SuperTech is not. It's fully encapsulated. It's got metal around the top, metal around the bottom. The FRAM is just paper glued together. So cheaper on the rubber, cheaper on the paper element itself. This looks more substantial. It's a little bit heavier. We've also got a spring, like a little bit of a tensioner pressure spring in there. So this seems to me like it would be a little bit better filter. So it looks like this is on the bottom of the FRAM filter, and to me, from a mechanic standpoint, this SuperTech filter is solid. This here, it looks to me like, oil pressure is coming through there. You got a lot of room that oil could slip by there, a lot of gap where oil could pass by there, bad oil, and make its way back around this element. And the same thing right here, it could make its way around that. So that just seems like a cheaper filter to me. So what we've got here is we've got two measured cups out with the same amount of oil in each one. And we're just going to do a quick pour test. This will just be a gravity flow test. So we will dump oil down each filter and see if any bypasses.
Okay, ready for both of them?
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like the SuperTech is absorbing relatively quickly. Oh, and look at that. The FRAM filter is actually leaking out down around that metal. So that's not good. That would definitely leak out around your element. That would bypass your element. So that's definitely not a good sign on FRAM's part. it looks like the SuperTech filter is able to flow more from what has just been poured in here to what is able to come through the filter. Now we're going to give these two a quick flame test. Got the SuperTech here on the left and the FRAM on the right. So let's light them off and see what happens. Both of them look about the same after being burnt. The next test I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut a section of this paper element that's not burned away. On both of these filters. So a good clean section on both filters. So this is the FRAM. Paper element for the FRAM filter. This is the paper element for the SuperTech filter. And this is what the element material looks like itself. See, this kind of seems more like a cardboard, really fibrous paper-like material. And here's the grade of it up close. And this is the SuperTech. And it seems kind of like the same type of material, but just judging by the look, it seems to me this would block more of the small particles than the FRAM filter would, but I'm not going to get that deep into testing this. I just think I'll go with the SuperTech from now on. Seems to be more of a substantial build.